So this first video discusses on how the testing work is actually organized, because we know that there's several different things which are related to software testing. There's different methods, there's different levels, there's different tools and certificates and standards and so on and so on. So the first and fair question is what software testing actually is. So I prepared a really general model to explain what the idea of software testing is in well, 40,000 feet overview sort of way. So this is not any way related to any business model or development process model or business domain or anything, in a sense that basically these components and parts and ways of doing things are the fundamental cornerstones of software testing, which are required for the organization to do any sort of testing at all. So basically what this means that it doesn't matter if your organization is doing product or service, whether they are building a mobile phone application or the mobile phone itself or nuclear power plant or providing a website service for some activity like web store or ticket ordering system or whatever. These are the things that exist simply because without these fundamental things no testing can be done. So, the fundamental rules of what software testing is and what happens in software testing are the following things. First of all, we have three different levels of working: the organizational level, the project level, and the individual level, or also called some places fundamental level. The upper management on the organizational level makes the general rules and decides on the resources, what tools the company purchases, what sort of things we expect from our products, what sort of quality assurance we will have, and so on and so on. So the general guidelines on how the organization does testing. Below the organizational level, there's the project management. On the project level, which the project manager or even project test manager may manage, are the activities done for one product or one service or one activity in which we, for example, add new features on existing products or develop new products like games or the new main version of our text editing software. The project management level plans, oversees and manages the work in the project. So the organizational level manages the entire corporation or company or open source foundation. The project management level manages one project or one task. Below these there's the fundamental level and the employees who do the actual testing work. So simply enough, the activities are something like this. There's the organizational level, where the upper management makes the decision and the guidelines and the broad strokes of how things happen. There's the project level, where the project management or project test management plans the activities, keeps the test plan updated, monitors and manages the work, and also makes the completion and reporting activities done so that we collect metrics and information on how things are going, and also report things how project went so that we can actually know what we tested and what sort of things happened, and to show our customers or clients that okay, these and these and things were tested for compliance with, for example, standards or interfaces. Finally, the individual level has the work, static testing work, reviews, meetings, source code analysis, so on and so on, and the dynamic testing work, which is actually going through the use case lists by doing some testing work with, for example, black box testing, white box, glass box, doing stress testing, beta testing, test automation, regression testing, and so on and so on. So this is where the work happens, or well, these are where the work happens, and this is where we manage the project. The other fundamental things are the 4 guidelines, documents, or at least generally agreed things between the individuals in the organization. They are the test plan, telling us what to test, how, who, and when. Test strategy, telling us what tools we have, do we have separate testers, what sort of resources we have, what sort of guidelines the organization has, and otherwise the organization-wide decisions on testing. Then there's the reports, information which can be used to see how the objectives have been met and what was done. And finally, the cases, test cases telling us what does the product have to be able to do, or how we can show that the product is doing all the things we expect it to do. Even though most of the testing would be something like explorative or even ad hoc testing, there's still a list of things that the program is supposed to be able to do, or as a game, what are the main features. So these can be the cases whether they have strict formal documentation or not. So overall, these documents work like this. The policies and strategies are made organization-wide by the upper management. On project level, we have a general test plan, and it may have specific sub-plans telling us, for example, how unit testing should be done or how test automation should be done, and so on and so on, for each test level or each test approach. Then we have the test cases, which combined with the test plan give us the test reports, which are then used to define better test plan or find the gaps or fill out the problematic areas. When we find that something doesn't work, we fix it and see that it does it work now. When we are satisfied with the product, we make the completion report or have some sort of a dissection seminar or project ending formalities, giving the feedback to the organization, which in some cases may even end up updating our ways of doing things, or for example that we have to update some tools, have to have more testers, or for example that we didn't have enough time or money to do all the test work necessary here. So these are the potential areas which we might have to revisit when we are doing additions or improvements on our existing product. So these are basically the fundamental things on how testing work is organized. We have 3 levels: organizational level, project level, and individual level, and a couple of documents or at least generally agreed guidelines telling us how the organization should behave, how the project should approach the testing work, what sort of things we should test, and some reports telling us how things have went, what is still wrong, what is currently working, and how the project went, so that we may even learn from our previous mistakes.